Today we remember all saints. If you don't know, that's all of the saints, including those that we don't know about, which of course are plentiful. St. Paul says, you are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. And the conclusion of that is, so you better run your race well. It's like imagining yourself inside of an arena, and you're fighting a battle, and all of those who went before you and fought well are cheering you on. Oftentimes we don't fight well because even though we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, we don't surround ourselves with a great cloud of witnesses. Do you see what I'm saying? Even though we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, we don't surround ourselves by a great cloud of witnesses. You know, there are plenty of people who have people all around them all of the time, but are still lonely because they're not actually with the people that are around them. So just because we know that the saints are there and the angels are there and God is there, doesn't mean that we acknowledge them or allow them to impact the way that we live our lives. So surround yourself. Don't just be surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. Your homes should have icons. You should be surrounding yourself by a great cloud of witnesses. You should have patron saints, saints that speak to you. Maybe here's some advice. If you don't know who your patron saint is, I've been there before. Or maybe you have many. Maybe you don't know who the many shall become. There is a great cloud. You're not limited to having one or two or three or four or five. You can have as many as you like. When you pray with them, they will transform your life. When you read their works, you immediately sense that there is a camaraderie between you and them. It's as if they can actually read your mind. You start to think a thought, and then they say it in the very next sentence. Certain saints speak to us particularly. We have our certain go-to saints. But maybe we haven't found our saints, and the reason for that is because we haven't sought out to surround ourselves with a great cloud of witnesses. So, of course, if you don't seek out the saints, you're not going to have any, right? So you have to seek them out. That means you have to read the Holy Fathers, Holy Mothers. Okay? You have to actually read them. You have to actually engage with them. You actually have to be prayerful when you're studying them. So that's the first thing. First thing is surround yourself with the saints. Acknowledge not only that they're there, but also want them to be there. And in so doing, what we do and say and think and act, we'll understand and appreciate the way that we're being evaluated more clearly. Do you see what I'm saying? The reason that we choose to sin is because we choose to not believe that God is present with us. To make the choice to intentionally sin against God is to decide that we do not want to believe that God is present with us in that moment. I'm not as embarrassed about having to go before God on the day of judgment and giving an account for every action because I know He already knows it all. But I will also one day give an account before that great cloud of witnesses. He saw every one of my thoughts and actions and activities. I saw it all. And they will know very clearly if I decided to not allow them around me, even though they were around me, or acknowledge their reality and presence in my life. So that's the first thing. Surround yourself with a great cloud of witnesses, be aware of their presence, and allow that to encourage you to run your race all the harder. The second thing is that Jesus says in the Gospels, many who are first shall be last, and the last shall be made first. Here's maybe a unique interpretation on this, maybe not. I rarely find that I have an original thought. Oftentimes we think that the persons who are first, that are the most saintly, the most holy, are not. And the people that we think are the least holy are. There will likely be a rearranging of orders when we come into heaven. You thought this, actually this. Those who you put first, those will become last. Those who you put last, those shall be first. Which is a fearful and dreaded thing, right? As a priest, there's a good chance that I'm coming in as a priest, I'm getting put in the back of the line. See? Only God sees sainthood in its perfection. The church assists us in this. The church assists us in this by saying, here are saints who are good for you to focus on today. The church doesn't make the claim that it knows all of the saints, or even that the saints that it's chosen are holier than the saints which weren't chosen. See? We put our values up, and at the end the Lord will either confirm them or, in some cases, disaffirm them. Or in some cases, say you got this one completely backwards, you put them last, but actually they're first. We'll have to wait for the Lord's final judgment. We're doing our best as a church now, but we'll have to wait for the Lord's final judgment. He gave us the authority and privilege of acknowledging the saints that we have. But beyond that, we don't know much more. We don't know much more. So those are the two things. The last may be first, and the first may be last. And you don't know. Don't even judge yourself. All you have to do is run your race well. That's it. Don't even judge yourself, whether you are or not. Who cares? You just run your race. That's all that matters. It's more important, though, to say to the Lord, not necessarily that you want to be a great saint, but that you want to attain salvation. Humility is an important part of the process. Okay? It's a very important part of the process, the humility aspect. That's one slight correction to a lot of what I hear from people. Okay. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Ave Maria,